Welcome back to Best Practices for an Enjoyable and Lasting Marriage podcast series. I am your host, Joy Hope-Minzie, and in today's episode, we will be discussing best practice number 4: never take your spouse for granted. In chapter 5 of my book, I discussed the importance of ensuring that our spouse feels treasured in the marriage relationship. I emphasize how vital this is for creating an enjoyable and lasting marriage. So let's explore how we can ensure our spouse feels truly treasured. But first, what does it mean to take our spouse for granted? Taking your spouse for granted means failing to appreciate their contributions, presence, or efforts while assuming the marriage will remain enjoyable and lasting regardless of how they're treated. This often includes neglecting to show gratitude, respect, or affection, which can leave your spouse feeling undervalued and unimportant. Over time, such feelings may lead to frustration and disconnection in the relationship. So, how do we ensure that we never take our spouse for granted? Let's explore a few simple but powerful actions. Number 1, prioritize your spouse. After God, your spouse should be your top priority. This means being intentional with your time and attention. Show them that they come first through actions and not just words. Number 2, communicate openly and transparently with your spouse. If life demands your attention elsewhere, communicate with your spouse. Be honest. Involve them in the decision making so that they don't feel sidelined. Cultivating transparency and trust is essential for a strong relationship. Number 3, show love through action. While words are meaningful, actions truly demonstrate love. Show up for your spouse, whether through small gestures or by making dedicated time for them. These thoughtful actions speak volumes. Number 4, avoid misplaced priorities. It is easy to let other responsibilities or people take precedence, but remember, your marriage is your foundation and a gift. Guard it by always treating your spouse as a top priority. Well, this is a good time to pause and reflect on your marriage. Have you been taking your spouse for granted? What actions will you take to ensure your spouse feels treasured and valued in the relationship? Not taking your spouse for granted doesn't happen by accident. It requires intentionality, open communication, and constant actions. I encourage you to take time this week to reflect on how you can treasure your spouse even more and make them a priority. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. Please like and share this episode with someone who might benefit. Until next time, take care and remember, never take your spouse for granted. God bless you.